When I see a sturdy tree, I see life. Especially those big trees that you can tell that have been in the same place for decades, scores of decades, and even centuries. There's this certain stability that a tree represents. Through seasons of shedding, cold, and regrowth. Amongst the meadow's grass it stands, as if to say, my roots grow deep in this lifeless sand. Its branches age, but it not destroyed life. Reaching high and wide, they are secure, no strife. The roots protrude from this moistened ground, drinking sups of life beneath the branch-made shroud. There is another side to this picture I'm painting. Beneath the greatest vitality lies an even greater evil: death. The theme of death is found within the first few chapters of the Bible, first as a warning, and then as a reality. In the second chapter of the Bible, we learn about the first moments of Adam's life. We learn that God created Adam from the ground, and he was given many tasks, given the task of naming animals. We learn that God created him from the ground and then breathed into him. But in the midst of this happening, we have the story of two trees. One tree, the tree of life. The other, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But that's not it. We learn something else about this tree. If Adam were to eat from it, he would die. Up until this point, death isn't a thing. It's a theoretical concept of what would happen if a certain thing were to occur. In this case, partaking from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now we know the story. Adam with his wife Eve partook, and so brought on themselves and their kindred, us, death. The shorter Oxford English Dictionary defines death as the act or fact of dying, the end of life, the final and irreversible cessation of the vital functions. In other words, death is an end. When something is dead, it is no more. Think of a forest. It's being cleared. The trees that once stood protected and strong are cut down. They're taken to the tree factory and processed. Other trees may grow, and the forest may regain its grandeur. But those trees that are cut down, taken to the factory and processed, are no more. They are not living. That's what death is. The period of a sentence, the diploma at graduation, the check you cash when you sell your car. The end. We don't really think about Jesus as a rule breaker, but he is. We are all given one shot at life. One day we are born, and one day we die. Jesus saw this one rule as a rule that needed to be broken. And so, the laws of nature, science, and logic gave way to Jesus when he overcame death. And that's what Easter is. We call it Easter, we call it Resurrection Sunday, but we celebrate it because it's the day that Jesus was the rule breaker, where he broke this rule of death.
My heart of stone was dead to you, asleep within a world that scorned its maker.
what Jesus did. He broke the rule. He did it for us so that we could too. I want you to catch this. What happened with Jesus was revolutionary. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Nothing like this would ever happen again. But Jesus died so that we may die with him. But then he rose from the dead. He defeated this thing called death so that we may live with him.
Glory to one, God's murdered son, who paid for my resurrection.
Sometime before Jesus' death, he said this: I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself, unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away, like a branch and withers. And the branches are gathered, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so I love you. Abide in my love.